What's up, everybody? You know what it is, and you know who it is. Episode 17 of the fAnaticZ podcast. You know who I am, Damien James.
Frank wearing the sorrow snuggie for U of A.
And Dylan over here confused as hell, but he's frankly a brave soul, so
Always.
Yes, sir. Well, we don't really have the array of topics we usually have to talk about this week, but we will make it awesome and we will make the most of it.
Big 12 championship game. Come on, bro.
Big 12 championship game attendee, ASU, for the first time in program history, obviously, because this is the first time we've been in the Big 12. And I didn't expect ASU to come right out of the gate and make the championship game in the first year in the conference and just big dog these teams like they have been. I'm so proud of them, man. And I'm surprised, man. I'm just shocked. I don't
I
even
mean,
have much more.
100%. Like when you're picked 16th at the beginning of the year for the conference and then you wind up in the conference championship game. The last year ASU was in a championship game for conference was back in 2013 for the Pac-12 when Todd Graham was still the head coach.
Yup, they went from being picked 16 to being ranked 16. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
I remember going through. Do you guys remember going through the schedules, the ASU schedule before the season started, and
Oh,
how we
absolutely.
just felt? We just thought like this team might not even win like 6 games.
Well, then you had Scatabo just pop off and have an amazing season. And then, of course, you guys got your coach of the year now, Kenny Dillingham.
Yep, well deserved, Coach K.
And it's
Got a
just
lot of
wild.
money.
It's just wild because in Iowa State, like they're the old guard in the Big 12, but like even them, other than a couple years here and there, this is unfamiliar territory for them. Both teams are 10-2, 7-2 in conference, and both are actually pretty similar offensively in terms of yards per game and points per game.
Yeah. Scrapping it out, man. Getting it in and making sure we win the games we need to win. Um, I don't like comparing them to a lot of people because I don't think we've ever seen an ASU team like this. Um, I'm just like I'm along for the ride. I think this is one of those momentous teams, and hopefully they can ride this like kind of like magic into an actual championship.
Well, and the thing to think about is just like all Big 12 performers ASU had this year. And if you think about it, Levitt's only a freshman. So he's going to have at least another year or two to get established with this program, and he's only going to get better. And he was a second All Big 12 team this year as a freshman.
Yeah, and people are going to start wanting to come play there especially if they win the championship. Oh yeah, people will want to play at ASU, and who knows, maybe ASU becomes in football what U of A is in basketball.
And Sam's only a freshman too.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's only just
absolutely.
the beginning for Sam. And what I noticed, like he did have his growing pains, but he's slowly starting to groom a little bit. But what the bad news is, though, I'm kind of worried though. Cam Scatabo, though, he's a senior. He's going to get drafted real quick. So we're not. So we don't even know what a running game is going to be after this game, or potentially playoffs too. So,
That's why you got those recruiting gems and the transfer
mm-hmm,
portal that's going to be right after.
right?
Dylan,
But I
that
mean,
light
like,
is killing me.
Is it?
Yeah.
but it's like you just touched on, Dylan, like with, guys like Levitt, Scatabo, the national attention. Guys are going to see that and they're going to be like, hey, we want to come play here. Dillingham is building it right. They're already way ahead of schedule, and it's just like the results have been phenomenal.
Yeah, and
Right.
how about freaking Dillingham giving all his staff like 5 to 10K out of his $200,000 bonus? He
That's
gave
a
all
real
the
one.
Yeah, he gave all the staffers like because he got that bonus. He gave them all. I'm sure he's gotten a lot of bonuses because he probably
Oh,
had incentives that he crushed this year in that contract. So shout out to him for being such a good coach and such a good dude as well. The
oh
people
yeah.
that are playing on the team will definitely, you know, act like their head coach. That's how football teams are. They take on their head coach's personality. So you love to
I was
see
gonna
that type of
say,
stuff.
you see it every week. Those guys look like they would run through a brick wall for Kenny.
For sure, he seems like a fun guy.
Well, and it's just like
Right.
the whole atmosphere about the program is different again. Like everybody's excited. It's not just a game where everybody's just there. Like everybody's engaged. Like coming, for just for me saying that from that standpoint, being on the rivalry, like that is like I wish we kind of had that right now. Kind of things fell apart, but everything is clicking up there. Like the atmosphere, the fans, everything, everybody's involved.
Yeah, he's definitely changed the culture for sure, and I definitely feel like he's gonna be able to bring in a lot more recruits in as his tenure goes by as a Sun Devil for sure. So I feel like the future is bright for us for sure. But did you guys also know that one of our best wide receivers are out, Jordan Tyson?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, he's out
that's.
for the game, which is kind of hurts.
But
He's
I
been quite a
mean,
what red zone threat if we don't give it off to Cam.
I look at it this way though. That just means Medemeyer and Gilroy, step in that spot and take charge.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
or we just run the ball a zillion times and Cam scores 4 or 5 touchdowns on them and brings the championship back to the desert.
The scatter bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
because if he has
we also
good,
can't sleep on the other QB on the other side of the ball though, Rocco. If that's
Oh
how you
yeah,
pronounce his
Beck.
name from Iowa State. Our defense, so we've been locked in all season, but he's a sophomore though. He had pretty similar stats to Cam Scatterbo, but their situation is they have one heck of a wide receiver on that squad too. So
Yeah,
we
I was
got to
gonna
see if we
say
can match up.
they do have two all Big 12 receivers. One is a returner, and then you got Higgins, which is the receiver that Dylan was alluding to.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't remember his name at this exact moment. I probably butcher it.
you just kind of gotta hope that they overlook ASU. Kind of gotta hope that they're kind of sleeping on us a little.
I
I was
feel like
gonna
they will. Every national broadcaster will always be going with the other team, just with their energy and how they're covering them.
Oh yeah, and I mean, that's why you play the game at the end of the day. Guys who want to work hard beat anybody. Us making predictions like this, it's all muse when you get to the day of the game.
Yeah, how about did we talk about the Territorial Cup last time we were on here?
No,
Oh,
we had Thanksgiving off.
Oh my
We had
gosh, what a
Bill
what a
Frankie. Now he's upset.
I was gonna say, the football team took the week off too. Actually, most of the year off.
Jeez, man, what a beating. I knew they were gonna win, but I thought, it's a rivalry game. It's gonna be maybe a little competitive. Oh my
And I mean,
god.
that's why all of the coordinators are getting canned. Literally, Brennan is the only guy, as opposed to to Akina that's coming back. Like everybody else is going to be brand new. So that's going to be interesting to see because we definitely need to get somebody that's up and coming as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, it's not like you guys don't got players. You just need better coaching.
100%. Like everybody was so excited about everything that happened last year, and then the transition just went downhill.
You know what also went downhill? Wilbur the mascot in that mascot fight.
His head got rocked
Did
up,
anybody see
man.
that fight between the two
Ugh.
mascots? Bam, bam. Wilbur just went bam.
Man,
He literally went down.
that was so funny. And the people pulled him away, and you can tell everybody had the same feeling that Wilbur had just gotten beat up. It was like very sad.
It
I
was
mean,
not a
hey,
great day in. It was just not a great day in Tucson, and even like our pitchfork didn't even get put on midfield for like 0.5 seconds, and there's already a fight. U
well,
of
I was
A
gonna
players trying
say,
to take that shit off.
I look at it this way. I respect them for being there, but at the same time, if they showed as much fight as they did to get that thing out of the freaking ground, they probably would have had a better chance in the game or all season.
I don't know. I don't know. Based on that score, I don't know if there was anything they could have done. Whoa, it's pretty
I
bad.
saw a report that you guys are gonna retain your head coach though. That's the crazy part.
Yeah,
You
no,
guys are gonna can the head coach out of all people.
the AD gave him an ultimatum. You have to get rid of everybody, and everything has to go good, or he's already on the hot seat. I mean, and well, deserved, but he's gonna at least have one more year. It looks like. So I mean, I do like the recruiting class that we do have coming in. We do have a lot of needs that have been filled. So only time will tell what coaches are going to be brought in. I'm hoping honestly we get Mannion as an offensive coordinator. That would be a good get. But at the end of the day, we just have to go somewhere better than where we were. We went from 10-2 to 4-8, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah, but is he the coach for your quarterback though? Because he took quite the decline this year with the turnovers.
Oh, 100%. Like Noah didn't even look like the same guy.
Yeah, McMillan didn't. Yeah, McMillan just looked like a lost cause out there, not really in it either.
Well, yeah,
They
because
both looked good for about 2.5 games.
and then everybody knew where the ball was going every single play.
Yeah,
Yep.
for like 2 days, he was in. McMillan was in the Heisman discussion with Travis Hunter.
Sheesh.
So.
Yeah, no, that's how quickly your season and everything can just go downhill.
Yeah, that's insane,
But now
man.
Cam Scottable's in that discussion though, Heisman winner.
Yeah, he should get it. He's been going crazy.
He should at least get an invite. Like he's gotten what I think 2,000 all-purpose yards between receiving and rushing.
I feel like I might go to Travis in my opinion. I feel like primetime Dion hyped it up too much. Why he should get it.
See, I mean, it's going to come down to Jonte or Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And like at the end of the day, like I have all the, respect for Travis Hunter. What he's been able to do on both sides of the ball is unheard of. He's obviously going to be top 5 pick, but if Jonte breaks Barry Sanders' record, that's going to be something very hard to overlook.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he breaks Barry Sanders' record and then comes to the Cardinals. No, I'm just kidding. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Anyway, back to ASU real quick. Do you guys remember me showing you that bracket if the college football playoffs started like a week and a half ago? We would have played
Yeah,
Ohio State. So if
bruh.
we were to win this game, who the heck would we play now? Definitely not Ohio State.
Whew.
Sheesh, that's a good question.
It'd be interesting, but I mean,
We're gonna
I feel.
find out.
But the
Oh
quick
yeah,
opportunity, so quick to turn around and face teams like that real quick and have a chance to go to the finals like that. Crazy.
yeah. Just to see some of these teams that are going to be slotted into that 12. It's nice to see, but also at the other end, you're just rooting for all these SEC teams to lose.
See, Georgia doesn't have it, man. I know a couple of Georgia fans, and I keep telling them Carson Beck and that defense has their flaws, and they should have like the way they played against Georgia Tech, unacceptable. And now they're going to be facing Texas. I feel like Texas is going to take them home early.
I
I
don't
mean,
know. Carson Beck, he's got some extra heat on his shoulders and a chip, maybe a fire lit under him because people are talking about what he was saying about how he doesn't like to watch football. He was talking about like how it was painful for him to sit and watch football, and people are like, "Well, that's not good for a quarterback to say if he wants to go to the NFL because you're gonna have to watch a lot of film." So I think that people saying that about him is gonna piss him off, and he's been playing awesome this year. Well, he's been playing up and down, but when he's good, he's freaking good. So you
I was
can
gonna
never count
say,
Carson back out.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either way because as Dylan did mention, Georgia isn't the same Georgia that has, won a national championship in the last
Yeah,
couple years. Beck is throwing the ball a little differently. He doesn't have, his targets. Losing Brock Bowers was huge for
yeah,
him.
for sure.
He was the
Yeah,
security blanket,
Who's the other
but
guy he lost? He lost another guy too.
Travis
Yeah,
Etienne, I believe.
it was a running back. Yeah, it was a running back. But yeah, Bowers was probably the hugest loss
but
for him, like you were saying.
if anybody, you can't count Beck or Georgia out. At the end of the day, it's going to be a really good game. I see Texas squeaking it out, but I would not be surprised to see either team win, honestly. They're both super good teams.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Texas, but like, yeah, I mean, it's not the Georgia defenses that we're used to, and that's pretty much why I'm leaning towards Texas.
Right.
Because yeah,
Yeah, no, because you're not used to seeing Georgia getting,
lit up.
lit up off, defensively. And there's been games where it's just like, wow.
The fact that Bama still barely has a chance to get into is beyond me.
You don't even get me started on
Those two
that.
teams, Bama and Georgia, were like supposed to be the top dogs all year, like every year. Now look, they barely are sus at this point of the year.
Well, and it's just like I'm pretty sure even Nick Saban said this Alabama team, like, isn't it?
No, absolutely not.
Like, I would be
Any
Yeah,
team
surprised to see
without
them
him.
make it through the second game.
Bama lost out on so many recruits that already committed, and then after they found out he retired, they said fuck no. And then yeah, like nobody wanted to play there anymore. They lost out on so many players after Saban retired.
Well, I was
That
gonna
killed
say,
the
and
recruiting class.
as we all know, like Saban retiring just like changed the landscape of college football because in effect, DeBoer left Washington, Jed Fish left Arizona, then everything just kept falling down the line. But I mean, you can't replace a guy like Saban, and definitely, this year is definitely not the Alabama standard.
oh yeah, no. Whenever you get rid of a coach that's like Nick Saban, and especially in the college and NFL, you can get away with having a really talented roster and a good GM and interchange head coaches. But in college, that system is like the head coach's product. That's how they make their money. That's how they
I was
get
gonna
their
say that's
job.
their
Is
image.
exactly that's their whole shtick. So I mean, it's not the school, it's the coach, and then I think that Alabama's realizing that now.
Another team too, Michigan. Michigan has looked like crap after Harbaugh left.
But they did land the number one high school recruit in the country, flipping him from LSU. So that's really the only thing they did not have all year was a quarterback.
Let's hope. That's like Nebraska's situation with Dylan Raiola. What a turnaround they got. They got a first bowl game in like what 7-ish, 8 years.
I was just disappointed though with how quick they started out and then how many weeks they had to wait to get that bowl game though.
Mm-hmm.
They started out hot and then they kind of just fell apart a little bit.
Right.
It happens, especially in college where things are so up and down. Um, I'm
But
just
hey,
happy that it. Huh?
fun stat for the game, by the way. Iowa State, if they would be seeking their first title in any conference since 1912, and it would be ASU's first since 2007. So who are you guys
Interesting.
rolling with? Or what's the predicted score? I should say. I don't even need to ask who you're going with.
See, I feel like it's gonna be like 34-28 ASU.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be like some 38 fucking 29 or something like that. Something weird.
Over is definitely a safe bet for all the college games like we were discussing before we went
Yeah,
on there.
Oh yeah, the champions come to play. I
Oh
think
yeah.
honestly, like as you guys mentioned, it's going to be a big scoring game. Obviously Tyson being out hurts ASU a little bit, but I do think they have the personnel that'll fill in. They have enough talent on that side of the ball, especially with Scat, and they do have other receivers that can step up. So I'm going to say ASU. Honestly, ASU is going to win 37-24.
I feel like time of possession is gonna become a big thing for ASU too. We don't have Tyson to throw. I mean, we got plenty of other guys that we can throw to, but like Sam should definitely use his legs more. I mean, Scattaboo can definitely use another hat trick help us out, but like Scat's legs, Sam's legs, um, keep Iowa State offense off the field, in my opinion, too. So we'll see.
I was gonna say at the start of the year, like you saw Levitt get rattled just a little bit, and then you saw him, really take care of the ball, and he's only had 5 picks the entire year. So he's a careful guy. He's gonna, keep the chains moving.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Good on him. Over 2,200 yards with 5 picks and I think
Yeah,
21 touchdowns. It's pretty good.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, and as it's gonna be a good matchup because both quarterbacks. Obviously, we got Levitt that was the second team All Big 12, but guy over on Iowa State side was honorable mention, so he's still a good quarterback, as Dylan alluded to earlier as well. So we definitely have to be ready to defend the pass.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple of games where we can get some stupid penalties against really good quarterbacks, so we got to make sure we're well disciplined too. So we've had some ejections this year too on some quarterback hits.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
like some of the, it's just weird because some officiating crews you'll see they won't call absolutely anything, or you have the ones that'll call every single poke of the jersey.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That was like last week's Cardinals game.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, the flags were ridiculous.
And it's at the end of the day, like that's what ends up, little things like that build up and they cost you games. Cardinals definitely know all about that.
Mm-hmm.
But as I think you guys ready to transition over,
I'm good with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else for college.
I was gonna say we got the revenge in the nest this week. We get Seattle coming back into our building. First time, honestly, we played really well defensively against them, but obviously we know we had that 16-6 dud where we did not get any push or anything going offensively. Even though a surprising stat, we still did outgain them in yards, 295 to 285.
Yeah, we definitely play conservative a lot. Definitely. I feel like the Vikings were a lot more aggressive on their side of the ball. But it didn't help that Aaron Jones was freaking turning the ball over every other possession.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we
But
were
we were
playing
given lots
against
of opportunities.
against the number one defense. I think sometimes you can't do what Jonathan Gannon and the coaching staff did this game and play like you're playing against just anybody. You have to play like you're playing against the best defense, you know?
Well, not only that,
And
but it's like when you're up 19-6, you need to go for the throat.
that's what I'm saying. You gotta every time you can get points, you should do that, you know? And even if it means 7-3, like if you have a chance to mathematically eliminate them from winning the game, you should do that.
I mean,
But
It's
yeah,
here's my
no,
thought. If Kyler's not using his legs nearly as much this year, 4th and 2, if you want to take that three instead, go for it. Have Kyler run outside the freaking pocket, dude. He's not running the ball
right.
as much this year. Defenses aren't expecting it. He can get you that too. Extend the arm, get that first down.
Or if James Conner is in the game, there's no reason to not run an RPO where Kyler has the option to either take it and bounce it or give it to James Conner if he feels like it's easier for him to get it, you know?
Yeah,
oh yeah, I
Connor
was
can
gonna
even fake. Connor can fake it and even dive and acting like he's trying to
Yeah.
get the first down, and Kyler just runs and takes off. You know.
There were so
going
many
back.
different plays. We have Trey McBride. We can give Trey McBride the ball out of the backfield. We can do so much different shit than what we did.
But yeah, no,
uh,
and another thing that drives me nuts is like we have Trey McBride and we cannot get him involved in the red zone.
I know. Freaking Josh
So
Allen has more touchdown freaking receptions than Trey McBride this year. It
do you
blew
guys
my
want to hear
mind.
this stat? The last 3 games for Trey McBride, he has 28 catches for 300 yards, and none of them are receiving touchdowns.
I know. I know.
He has zero receiving
He's
touchdowns
got a
All of them seem
rushing
to be going.
touchdown.
all season.
All of them seem to be going to freaking Michael Wilson or James
Marvin
Conner.
Harrison Jr.
Not
I just
yeah, Marvin. Yeah, but he's not even clicking either. He's
But
who
he's
he's
I'm
lost
getting
too.
he's getting most of the red zone touchdowns though. He's got all he leads all rookie wide receivers in touchdowns with 7 this
guys.
year.
You know who I'm wondering where they're at right now? Who are basically like missing in action? Greg Dortch and Zay Jones, absolutely ghosts in this
Dortch gets
offense.
the Dortch gets the ball every game on like some weird jet sweep or something. Dortch, I'm gonna be honest. I love when Dortch has the ball. I love Dortch's energy, but with Michael Wilson, Marv, and Trey McBride,
More
Dortch
bodied
should
receivers.
they should be getting the ball, and they are. So I'm happy with that. And James Conner's been getting he's having like at least 3 to 5 receptions a game. So there's not really that many passes to go around. And James Conner has been probably more effective than any of the receivers when catching the ball from Kyler Murray coming off of those screens. He's just been breaking screens open. So keep throwing it to James Conner,
I was gonna
please.
say, if nothing else, just keep feeding him the ball. Against Seattle, he only carried the ball 7 times. You can't have a back like James Conner and only feed him the ball 7 times.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it seems too predictable though. Handing off on first down and then little quick side pass on second down and then like maybe third and manageable. Like it just seems all too predictable and conservative.
Well, that's why we should do that stuff and then play action out of it and take shots out of those when we would normally do something conservative because that's how you mix it up. That's how you make teams get used to playing you like soft and they're just gonna run it right here and then all of a sudden Kyler's booting out and throwing the pass deep down the field. So and Pettine's
And,
been mixing it up pretty well, but
and
he
it's
needs to
just
do
what's
better.
weird is like the last 2 games, like we have still like in the losses, we have still outgained our opponent in yards. We just can't make anything of it.
It's the defense the last game was on the defense, man. The defense has been kept us in or gotten us to a lot of our wins, but we got to be able to call them out when they can't stop a 4th and 7, a 3rd and 16,
Oh, 100%.
3rd and 11. There's too many instances in the game where they did their job and they should get off the field and then they let up. Oh, we got 3rd down and long. They're not going to be able to get it, and then they get it. And it's
Yeah.
like fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, no, that 4th and 7 was an absolute backbreaker.
we beat the Minnesota Vikings. The discussion around the Cardinals is completely different today.
100%. Like and the sad thing is, like, other than that last, quarter and a half, we outplayed them in every phase of the game. We just couldn't finish.
Yeah, I mean, and I didn't think the interception was gonna be as bad as it was because it wasn't. The interception itself was all right. It wasn't. An interception is never good, but it didn't kill us. From that point on, though, I didn't know that the defense was just gonna stop playing good.
Yeah,
And I don't
it's
know.
like the whole when you talk about the bend versus break philosophy, they kind of took all the bend that they could and it just broke through.
Yeah, they are playing against Jefferson and Addison and
And
Aaron
Jones
Jones.
finally did get his in the end.
Yeah, should have won that game though. There's no excuse to be up by that many
The
points
offense caught
against.
fire though after halftime. It's like
Yeah, but
there is Minnesota, like they're
still,
back.
Sam Darnold is like he was like 0-13 in games where he was down by 13 points at halftime or into the fourth quarter or some shit like that.
Oh, not
And
good at all.
so can't lose that game, man. Especially for the playoff implications, and especially because we just lost the division game before that. So it's just like shit.
Well, and it's like here we are though now. The ball is back in our court. We can get back in that first place spot for the division, but we need to play the game we're capable of and not make stupid mental mistakes. We need to stay on our lines. We don't need any stupid false start or holding penalties, especially in the red zone.
That was also a huge killer. Without those penalties, we probably win the game because some of those field goals turn into
Rip Durant.
actual. Yeah, some of those
Rip
field
the
goals are
tip.
walk-in touchdowns. Jesus, rip tip. That's so funny.
Tip was not ready that game.
He wasn't ready. He was definitely unready. I don't know what that was about, man. I think they
He had
slipped him an extra 100,000 to blow the game.
he had the drunk goggles or something.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's not going to be
Man,
playing much next game. I know that.
and all we did was
Doghouse.
vouch for him.
He's going to be running gassers. Jesus Christ, that was such a heartbreaking loss. But at the end of the day, I'm so used to it now that I'm just like, all right, cool. Next
We're on
one.
to that revenge W with Seattle.
Exactly. We're on to the
Hey,
revenge W. Seattle.
W.
Seattle's not that scary. They have a good offense. I think we can run on them. And if we
They
can run
didn't.
on a team, we can beat a team.
Other than their defense, they didn't play good the first game.
Yeah.
He
So
had a
if
couple
the
turnovers
we need
last
the
time. You
we need the
mentioned.
fans' energy. We need the fans to make it unbearably uncomfortable for Geno Smith.
If
Like
we could just, I
we
don't know
need to
about all
shake him
that.
the entire game.
I want to go to the game, but I don't know if I'll be able to this time.
But
This is
either
a game
way,
to go to, though. If you're going to a game.
I was gonna say it's for first place. Like if you have the ability to, who would not want to go?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I want to go. That's for sure. But
You just got
I just wonder which Geno Smith we're gonna get. Are we gonna get Pumpkin Geno, or are we gonna get 358 yards, three tutties Geno?
definitely don't want
It's
Pumpkin
always hard to
Geno,
tell every week with him.
Yeah.
and
Same with
he's
Kenneth
still.
Walker.
Oh
Same
yeah,
with
for sure.
Walker has not had over 55 yards in 3 straight games.
I think Zach Charbonnet looks like he runs more physical than Walker, but Walker's just tired of getting injured. He's always injured. He's always getting hurt.
I was gonna say Charbonnet plays with a chip on his shoulder because he never knows when he's gonna get the ball again, so he's trying to just ball out.
For sure, he's trying to win that spot. Like, hey, look at me, guys. I'm good.
And that's
Mm,
what keeps getting him the opportunity. It's like he shows out when he gets his carry.
Yeah, we need Trey Benson to start saying, "Hey, give me the ball, guys."
Or better yet, Demercado, like you saw, like if nothing else, he's very valuable in the receiving game.
Yeah, he definitely he surprised me. He's actually way better than a third string, just random third string guy.
Yeah, because I remember all at the beginning of the year, we were kind of like caught off, guard that he beat out Michael Carter for that last back spot. But I mean, he's validating it.
For
mm-hmm.
sure. For sure. He's doing a good job, and so is our offensive line. I think that we kind of took a step back since we got Jonah Williams back, though, but I guess that's to be expected. The other guys had such good chemistry going.
I was gonna say, I think that's all just him getting him back to game speed. But as you mentioned, that chemistry, you had that 5 straight weeks of the same line, so they all knew what each other was doing, wherever each other was
Right.
at, and then having to work Williams back in, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment.
Yeah,
But
for
like,
sure.
the offensive line is going to be the key of the game because you saw in the last game, Seattle's defensive line absolutely manhandled our offensive line and pushed them around.
Yeah. I got a question. You think that Prater comes back, or we just keep Chad Ryland?
Ooh.
That's a tough one because I like both of them honestly.
I would say if Prater still has his ability to be who he is, I would just take Prater because he can hit longer field goals and doesn't get
Right.
blocked as much.
I was gonna
But
say
Well, Chad just
he's
goes back to the
old.
practice squad.
That's
I
what I
feel
would
like we
want.
would keep him because
Yeah, I would want
Prater's
to
only
keep him.
gonna be Prater's maybe gonna play one more year after this, if that.
So we let Prater come back next year and then have Ryland on the practice squad in case Prater is washed.
I mean, essentially, because I mean, we shoot. Who was the last kicker we did that with?
Catanzaro, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
That boy was trash.
I think he's still in the league, right?
He
With
Yeah,
started.
Cat.
yeah,
He
yeah.
started out super freaking hot though, because he was nailing kick after kick, and then he
Yeah,
just
his
fell
rookie
off.
year, the same thing happened with Zane Gonzalez. He was
God
fired.
dang.
He's still in the league too. He's active. He's a starter.
Well, good for him. I'm happy to hear
I
that.
forgot what team Chandler was on.
Shoot, you know what blows my mind? Nick Folk is still in the league.
That's
Nick Folk
crazy.
has not
And
played a
Mason
game for
Crosby.
Arizona in I think probably 20 years.
Mason Crosby's still in the league too.
Like Nick Folk basically is like one of the shoot. He's like a Stoops era player that's still in the league.
Sheesh. I'm dead. Yeah. So why are we talking about kickers? Oh yeah, because Chad Ryland.
Because special
You're the one
teams
that
is
asked
a
about
third
kickers,
of the
bro.
game.
I
I asked about our kickers. I,
We got good kickers.
I'm just trolling, dude. So, and as far as the Cardinals go, I think that everybody always they don't stop to smell the roses with this team. It's either like we're riding super high on a winning streak, or we're like, damn, why isn't this team winning the Super Bowl? Even though we know they're
Hmm.
not a Super Bowl team. Why can't we just stop and be like, man, Kyler Murray is so much more mature than last year. He's doing so much better. The defense that everybody just expected to be trash is not trash. Going into last week, they were second in total defense across the whole league. And
Yeah.
it's like, come on, give these people some credit. Nick Rollis, Jonathan Gannon, and Drew Petzing and Monty Austin-Ford are all doing an amazing job.
Like, I'm sorry,
And
like
Kyler Murray
we
included.
we need to lock up Nick Rollis. Because if he's doing this with a kind of blue chip defense, I can't wait to see what he can do with a Pro Bowl level defense.
Lucky for us, Nick Rollis and Jonathan Gannon are like brothers. They're like scheming together. Like Jonathan Gannon was brought up. I forgot who the coach was, but the coach called Jonathan Gannon and told him, "Hey, Nick Rollis is just like you, but he's better than you when you came to me. So you should take him." And so Jonathan Gannon took him and was like, "Yo, you're right." And so he's like one of the first people to believe in Nick Rollis and give him an opportunity. So I think Nick Rollis would do right by Jonathan Gannon. And I know eventually, maybe even move up and from a DC to something more. I don't know if he'll be like the head coach or something, but I don't. I don't.
Right.
I don't think.
It's one of those
That,
situations like you obviously want Gannon to do well, but you don't want to lose Rollis. But in a couple years, there's somebody going to be calling for him at least for a head coaching interview because he deserves it.
well, at least that probably means that we would win some sort of something, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
I mean,
okay with
hey,
that.
we're still very well in play to win the NFC West this year.
Right, for sure. And that's what and that's what a team that's like not complete. This team isn't like what they want, This team isn't the full vision for the head coach, nor is it the full vision for Kyler or any of the players. They know that this team needs work. So I just want to see us win one playoff game, and I'll be happy with this year. I'll call
I was
this year a success.
I was gonna say this is where Monty, his pot's not boiling yet, but it's kind of you get the bubbles, something's brewing,
Right.
and then
So
everything's only gonna get better from there.
for sure, I say if we win a playoff game, we're truly a special team that has Super Bowl aspirations next year. But if we win 8 to 10 games, I won't be mad because we exceeded expectations.
100%, because I think
Mm,
at the beginning of the year we went with most like what 8.5
Yeah,
yeah, we did.
tops.
it
So
was
we're
seven and a
already
half. It was seven and a
oh
half.
okay.
So,
So we're already almost there with that one, and there's still
Yeah,
a
if
lot of
we
football left.
shoot, if we win against Seattle, we're pretty much what?
there.
Yeah, I mean, what would it take us to lock up a playoff spot? No matter what, one in the next 2 3 games straight.
I was gonna say
and
at
have
least two or
Seattle
three
lose.
straight because we cannot get swept by Seattle and expect to win the division,
Nope, absolutely not.
especially at home.
Yeah, we have to win this game.
And then after Seattle, like Minnesota was the hardest game on our schedule.
When we lost
I'm
by a
pretty
point, it's
sure
crazy.
we have Carolina coming up. We have
Um,
pretty sure we have the Giants, I think. Either way, there's somebody that we're playing that has like a 3 or 4 win team that we have coming up besides Carolina. But our schedule is very winnable. The Minnesota game that we barely lost was our toughest remaining game. So if we take care of business, show up, cut the mental, mistakes, the little things, there's no
Yeah,
reason why we can't win 3 or 4 games.
we got the Seahawks, Patriots, Panthers, and then the Rams, and then the 49ers are the last game of the year.
And I'm
So
sorry, like the
all
Patriots
sucky
and
teams.
Carolina 100% have to be wins.
All these
yeah,
teams suck. We can beat them all. If we go out and we win all those games, which is highly unlikely, we're going to lose one or two of them. But if we go out there and we win all of them, bro, jeez.
I'll tell you what, if that happens, I just hope the guys turn off their TVs for a little bit and don't buy into all the media hype and just
For sure.
continue to go to work.
mm-hmm.
I think
Be
Kyler
better
Murray
than
wants to prove
regards.
something, dude. So I hope we have an opportunity for him to get to prove it.
I want him to prove it. And like you said, the biggest thing that he's showed to everybody this year is his maturity. Like he's always had talent, but he's kind of had that, little bit of a walk, a little bit of an ego, but everything like Jonathan Gannon has put him in check.
I don't know. I don't know about put him in check. I just think it's a better culture. I just think Kyler is allowed to be himself instead of having to be the savior. Like when Cliff was in town, it was like Kyler and Cliff don't do it. Their heads are getting chopped off. Now it's like more like on Gannon, on Petzing. Everybody
Right.
shoulders some of the load. It's not just Kyler.
Right.
And I think coming into, I mean, he's in his 6th year now, so it's not like no excuses for him or anything. But he, like, he was set up to fail with the people he was. At the first year, they set him up to win, and then they thought, okay, we can just sustain this. They're doing great. He won. Let's not add anything. Let's not do anything different. Let's do the
Yeah.
same exact shit and let the NFL get tape on us and then get waxed. That's what happened to us. And then we lose in the playoffs against the eventual, overwhelmingly good Super Bowl winning Rams. And people don't take into account that 31 people on that team were in the playoffs for the first time in their lives, coaches included. And it's just like that's like over half the team. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think with more football experience, more game experience in the NFL, let's freaking get into the playoffs and see what happens, man.
Stan, like I just think the funniest thing out of all of this is like when that Kyler Murray got a legit Call of Duty deal out of
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
commercials were pretty ridiculous too.
I love
I'm
that
trying
for
to get
him
that
though.
by next week. Black Ops 6.
Nice. Good old Black Ops 6. Can't believe we stretched these two topics out so long. We're the goats.
I can't believe we're in Black Ops 6. I remember when they released Black Ops 1.
Yep, I do too, man. Skipping my
Me too.
homework. The
I
OG
remember the Modern
Nuketown and firing
Warfares.
range.
Oh
Dude,
man. I
Those were
remember when
PS3 days.
I remember before Call of Duty was popular and everybody was playing Medal of Honor.
yeah, Call of
Dude.
Duty was the second tier.
Yeah, Call of Duty was the second tier, bro. I used to play SOCOM Navy SEALs, bro. That was the game. And then that's like Counter Strike's baby right there. Counter Strike. That's too nerdy. Let's not get that nerdy. Um,
But by the way,
NFL.
did you guys realize it's my birthday on Sunday?
No, I didn't realize that. Happy early
That,
birthday, man.
that's another reason why the Cardinals need to win.
Birthday.
Hey, well, the Cardinals have a good track record of winning on podcast members' birthday. They beat the pep out of the Rams on my birthday. I was fortunate enough
Okay.
to be in the house for that.
So we
And
going 2-0.
We need to get you a parlay win, bro.
yeah, we need to get you a parlay win for your birthday,
No
brother.
kidding. No
No doubt.
kidding. But
Some
shoot,
birthday monies.
the Cardinals, U of A, and Suns all play on the 8th on Sunday. So
That's
let's
the
make it a
parlay
three
right
and
there.
zero.
That's there you go. Maybe.
That's the parlay.
Maybe.
So I don't know if anybody was not being lazy this week and tallied up the pick'ems. Um we lost last week's pick'ems, guys. Sorry.
Way too much turkey.
Yeah. It doesn't really affect that much in the
Just blame it
grand
on
scheme
the
of
in-laws. How
things.
about that?
There you go. The in-laws are always a good blame.
Yep.
Yup. But hey, we'll have those updated picks next week.
Yeah.
Quite a
Do you guys
task.
want to? Does anybody have anything else on the Cardinals? Because I really think that right now it's just we all know we're at a crossroads. Super huge make or break. Give the ball to James Conner moment this
I was gonna
Sunday.
say, and we already know what direction the Suns are looking without KD. At least,
Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about the Suns, have we?
I mean, we could touch base.
Mm.
You guys don't sound like you want to talk about Phoenix Suns.
I think
They've
Dylan
been
has a
upsetting me too
grudge.
much.
That game yesterday was kind of ridiculous.
To be fair, like yeah, we there's no business losing that game at all. We blew another huge ass lead, but at least it isn't the Pelicans that had absolutely nobody playing. They're actually at strength besides Zion.
Nah, bro, we shouldn't have lost that game. And the way we lost it was ridiculous, bro. It was ridiculous. This is the same stuff that was happening with Frank Vogel. I'm like, what the heck, dude? But at the same time, it's not. If we were at full strength, I would be more despondent because we
I
did
think
whoop their ass pretty much the whole game, and then we just let it slip and put
see, I
Bo
was gonna
Bol in
say,
when Bo Bol should have not been in. He ruined the game. Bo Bol lost us that game last night. It was crazy. I sent you guys a sequence of Bo
what
Bol
is
just messing the game up.
what is with guys that we vouch for, like helping us lose?
Right. Tip Ryman and Bo Bol, you guys are on under duress. We're still in that for first things
In the
first because
doghouse.
We still
yeah.
love you
Oh, the
guys though.
doghouse. I love that. We're gonna our shit is gonna be the doghouse. We gotta put you guys in the doghouse this week,
Hey, but you
guys.
know how like 3 weeks ago we were like feed tip, bro? No, you're gonna fucking starve now.
Right now, we're gonna remove all the food from
Unacceptable.
the doghouse, and Tip, you're gonna go in there by yourself.
That bowl's gonna be dog bone dry.
Yeah, come on, Tip. What the hell, bro?
Oh,
We vouched for you. We made ourselves look silly week after week.
you know how many
We
hashtags
were
I've
half a
put
yard shy
online?
for it with you. Like, come on.
Jesus Christ, man. Ah,
Oh
all
goodness.
right, man. So if we're not talking about the Suns, it's okay. We're 1-7 without KD. We look
I'm mad
ass.
with them right now. They're asshole
We'll
booty
we'll see
cheeks.
how
Bradley Beal's got to go.
we'll see.
The Bradley Bill. Hey, I love
He's
Bradley
got
Bill.
to
Bradley
go.
Bill.
He's
Hey,
fucking
I love you,
useless.
Brad. I
We'll
love you,
see.
Brad. I'd get rid of Nurk over Bradley.
No, if
We'll
you want
see
to,
where
if
we
I
are in
if
a
I want
week, and
part
then we'll
time, give me
talk
Chris
about it,
Paul back.
I'm weak as hell.
bro. We should have never got rid of Chris Paul.
Honestly, that that
This
that
team
whole
is it's
that Chris
ridiculous.
Paul that 2020 team would have went back to the playoffs and
Like
won
I love.
Pete.
I don't get me wrong, like I like Beal, but man, like we can't keep him and Katie on the floor at the same time. It's like,
If there was a way we could keep Mikal Bridges and have KD,
oh my God.
that's the
Bro,
only way.
Bronny's gonna play more garbage minutes than fucking Bradley Beal is gonna be healthy on the court, dude. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. And this dude gets paid 40 fucking million a year to be useless.
Oh, you just put
Don't mess with don't hey,
Bronny
don't
and
don't call my boy Bradley Bill Bronny Bill. Don't do that.
LeBron's 1 for 25 for 3-point shots is more production
Don't
than Bradley Beal.
don't do that. Bradley Bill's clutch for us when he needs to be. Okay,
dude. Oh my God.
When
Bradley
the
Bill's
paper clips are fucking barely together, that's when it only happens.
The
What
the
doctor is
the
he seeing? He must be seeing Anthony Davis's doctor, bro.
the Suns do not
Get
have a
better health
Bradley Beal
insurance,
No,
problem.
he
something.
saw Aaron
Like,
Hernandez's head doctor.
Oh Jesus, the Suns do not have a Bradley Beal problem.
No, we just have a health
health
problem.
issue.
Yeah, we have a health issue
Who is our
overall.
med staff? Like we used to have the best med staff in the
They used
freaking
to
league.
brag. They used to brag high and low about the Suns medical team.
Like
They
we
can't do
fixed
that no
Grant
more.
Hill.
Can like
Yeah,
maybe Shaq and Charles Barkley can talk about it.
yeah,
Like
because
what the fuck happened to the Suns training staff?
I was gonna
yeah,
say
because it sucks now.
we brought back Grant Hill. We can't
I
freaking
forgot.
fix KD.
I forgot what school I went to back in the day, but I went to school and then one of the teachers was like like he worked on the Suns medical staff when they were the best. Wherever
Well,
you
call
are, if
that
you're
guy
watching
up.
this, yeah, wherever you
We
are, go back.
we
We
miss
need
you.
you. 'Cause, yeah, we
Give
gotta do something.
us the good ankles. And you know what's also nuts? Everybody on our injured list last night was out with a bum ankle.
It's the shoes.
Oh yeah,
They're
be
all
like
wearing. They were all wearing triple B's.
The book ones.
No,
be
they're
like
all wearing the LeVar Ball shoes.
the kickball ones.
Our ball shoes. I'm like,
Dude, I was gonna mention that. I can't believe it. But with freaking Lonzo coming out and saying his own dad's shoes were kickball shoes.
Jesus Christ! I didn't hear him say they were kickball shoes. That's crazy. Alonzo the
Oh
Savage. Yo, you guys want to get into these pick'ems, yo? Because we
yeah.
skipped. We went from NFL to NBA back to NFL, which is
But everybody's
awesome.
been having fun. That's all that matters.
It doesn't
real
matter.
funny.
It shit. We talk about all the sports. So it doesn't really even matter. But we missed out on the game. I would have probably picked the Lions to win, but we can't count
Bro,
those for ourselves.
Hold on,
But
let me do that.
bro, I'm sitting here in a U of A snuggie. I missed out on the entire season.
not so funny. Where the heck did Dylan go?
1 second, 1 second.
He's in the dark room.
Oh, well,
Sorry, I had to fix something. I had to fix
Did you have a
something.
wardrobe malfunction?
it's all
See,
good. It's
my
all good.
OnlyFans
So
account was waiting.
Doing
not so
sports
funny.
and comedy up in here.
Well, Sunday, December 8th, we're going down to the Steel City where the Pittsburgh Steelers take on Jameis Winston and Cleveland Browns. And
Oh,
this is a good matchup. I love the AFC matchups like these ones. They're always such grinded out games. Um, I might lose this one, and I'm perfectly fine with that, but I'm going to go with the Steelers. Something tells me Jameis is going to get on their ass, though, and have a good game. But I'm just going to ignore those feelings for my record's sake and go with the Steelers at home because that makes more sense. What about you, Dylan?
Fun fact: I just saw Jameis Winston and Jerry Judy ball out against Denver in Denver last Monday. Great game, great atmosphere, awesome to be in. Nonetheless, that doesn't change my mind with the bias fact of a great time and great atmosphere. Still, give me Pittsburgh.
ooh. Oh, I love a good I love a good chance to ruin a sweep, but don't get me wrong, like Cleveland is rejuvenated. Jameis Winston is actually making football in Cleveland fun again. And I absolutely love that Jerry Judy trashed his old team last week. Absolutely great. I don't think it's going to happen 2 weeks in a row. You've seen how Pittsburgh's played all year. Mike Tomlin gets the absolute best out of everybody. Russ is having a rejuvenated year. I got to make it a sweep. I'm going Steelers just a smidge.
All right, awesome. Smidgen of Steelers added to the books. Next one is going to be in New York. First game without Danny Dimes for the New York Giants. They are hosting the Saints. I'm just going to take the Saints because the Giants are just a mess, and I don't.
Ineffable.
Yeah, just can't even do that. So Frankie, it's on you, man.
Yeah. Hey, when the Saints go marching in because the Giants are ass, it's not going to be a good day. Derek Carr is going to throw for over 300 yards on this defense. The Saints are going to win 27-10.
Nice.
And
I can see that.
Kamara gets a game that he's absolutely needed this year.
Yeah, Kamara's a good FanDuel prop this week. Yeah, give me Saints. And how's the spread only 5.5? That's crazy.
That's nuts. I'm definitely taking
because
that.
because the Vito's in the background.
I don't think DeVito's
Isn't it
gonna
Drew Lock
play.
that's playing for
I
the
think Drew
Giants?
Lock's gonna play. Yeah,
Bro,
I don't know though.
I remember watching one game with Drew Lock and he with
DeVito.
Seattle and he fucking just
Cut
randomly upset it.
Tommy
Like,
Cutlets is garbage. It's gonna be Drew Lock's game, but it's not gonna change much.
nah. A Drew
All right.
Lock Vegas trap? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, the next game we good to move on is Jets
Either
in Miami. Um, they're gonna go down to Miami and face the Jets. I mean, yeah, Miami's gonna be in Miami and face the Jets. I don't believe in the Jets, man. I just it makes me sick to
no.
pick them. I already lost too much points on them earlier in the season, so let me go with the Dolphins to cleanse my palate. And what about you, Dylan?
Aaron Rodgers simply don't give a fuck anymore. And if he plays next year, he already said it. It's not for the Jets, bro. And the fact he threw a pick to make whoever the defensive lineman was for 96, 7 yards or whatever, bro. He
To the
straight up don't give a
Seahawks,
fuck
dude.
anymore, dude. So yeah, Jets ain't winning this one.
When your like he just alluded to, when your quarterback is basically checked out and it basically implies that basically you can kiss my butt at the end of the year, it's not going to end well for you. And honestly, like I was going to take the Dolphins anyway because honestly, they're playing all right with Tua back in the helm, but just the fact they're playing a lifeless, checked out noodle man, Aaron Rodgers, who just needs to walk off in the sunset and smoke a bowl. You can't
Of
trust this Jets
ayahuasca?
team.
Nope,
Oh,
you
Dolphins
bro,
sure
all
his
can't.
day.
calendar has a bunch of Joe Rogan podcast dates on it.
That's so funny. What a
Dude,
weirdo.
he's too busy chilling with Pat.
Oh yeah, I love Pat McAfee. So
I
does
do
Aaron
love Pat
Rodgers.
though, but I don't love Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
Aaron
Pat
Rodgers.
McAfee hit fucking Braden up with that $500.
That's so funny.
He's been
Braden's
He's
still
trying,
missing his money.
bro. He's been trying the last 3 days.
What?
that's
He hasn't
crazy.
won yet.
Oh,
All right, well, let's go to the next game. The next one is Titans in Tennessee versus the Jacksonville Jaguars.
oh my
Trevor
God,
Lawrence is done for the
Jags.
year. Trevor is done for the year. So this game is going to be harder to pick than you think. Um, I don't even want to pick this one. I wish I could just pass, but I
Oh,
can't. So I'm going to go Titans because they're at home and the Jaguars just bad. Frankie?
oh my gosh! Like if there could be a cup of cheeks, this would be the game. Like this is for the bag of ass. Like this game, especially since Trevor Lawrence is out and they've already had an awful season anyway, and now we're gonna get Mac Jones. Like at least Will Levis has Calvin Ridley to throw to and Pollard to, hand the ball off to. Freaking Jacksonville is a dumpster fire. I feel bad for Doug Pearson, but at the same time, it's just like, how can you not manage a roster full of quality players that should win, but they're clearly just awful? Give me the Titans. Mr. Mayo goes for three tutties.
This might be like the laughing point in the video. Uh, I don't got an issue writing Mac Jones. I mean, fuck it.
Pause.
It's a gag rule anyways. What
What?
can go wrong? I'll be laughing my ass off if it does happen. If Jags win, give me fucking Mac Jones and the Jags.
I like
Dude,
that. Now that you say that, it's kind of like, yeah, it's a pick 'em, dude, because they both suck.
like a grab
uh,
bag.
yeah, I'm gonna roll with Will, the gun show, Will Levis, though. Falcons go to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Um, the Vikings got very lucky against the Cardinals. I ain't gonna lie, they don't look
Yeah, we
good, man.
we folded.
They, yeah, we gave it up. We let them have it. We let them off the hook. They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Rest
but
in
that's
peace,
okay,
Denny.
right? Rest in peace, Denny Green for sure. And but yeah, I'm not gonna pick the Falcons though because they just are. They're the same, but they're worse. They're like the same exact team as the Vikings, but just less talented. So I'm just gonna go with the Vikings. What about you, Dill?
Yeah, Vikings. I mean, that Kirk James energy kind of faded off.
All right, hear me out. That's where I'm bringing it back. Kirk Cousins has not thrown a touchdown pass since November 10th. That literally on the game day, it will be almost a full calendar month since he's thrown one touchdown pass. I'm calling it. Falcons get the upset against Minnesota. Kirk Cousins gets his touchdowns today or Sunday.
Drake London.
I
Kirko
like it.
Chains is going to hit London and Pitts, and Bijan's going to have a good day going with the Falcons. I just, like, as we've said all year, like, Minnesota is good, but they are beatable. They just find ways to win. And I think Atlanta's desperate enough that they realize that if they lose this game, they're falling out of the playoff hunt.
I like
And
that.
one more point, Kirk Cousins has a lot to prove against Minnesota.
True,
So
true.
give me the Falcons.
All right,
Screams
awesome.
over.
That's so funny. Next time we got Panthers versus Eagles and Philly. We don't need long dissertations for this one. We know what's going to happen, and if it doesn't, I'll be very shocked. I'm going with Philadelphia. What about you, Frankie?
BY MVP. No, I'm. But to be honest, I'll give Bryce Young credit. He has looked very much improved since he's come back from his benching. He does look solid. Their offense does look a lot better, but they're not going to beat the Eagles. Because, I mean, you got Saquon, who's basically half the team right there, just carrying the ball. And then you have loaded receivers. Jalen Hurts can do the freaking tush push. Eagles all day.
There we go. Yeah, I'm. Yeah,
I had to
Sonny
add
Dillon.
some mystique.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles on this one.
All right. Well, shit.
That Bryce Young shit threw me off.
No, hey, it was good. I love the. We got to keep it going with that. Good energy. So we got the Las Vegas Raiders going into Tampa Bay, who's been kind of struggling, kind of weird lately. Um, I've been picking Tampa a lot this year, and I'm gonna continue picking Tampa Bay. But Baker's the only quarterback that's beaten the Eagles and the Lions this season. So,
That is a
um,
wild stat.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with him to beat the Raiders because the Raiders suck. What about you, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep picking the Raiders to lose, and it's been working out for me every week. So
Yeah, no, I absolutely feel bad for Brock Bowers because he's besides Max Crosby, he's essentially the only player on Oakland or sorry, Vegas's roster that would actually be a star level player anywhere else.
Right.
But it is just, oh my gosh, I cannot believe how awful the Raiders are this year. They might as well have just stayed in Oakland.
Except for Max Crosby. You forgot Max Crosby. He's a star.
Yeah, feel bad for him, but no, the Raiders are gonna get washed. It doesn't even matter who they're playing.
Facts. And this next game is one we've already talked a little bit about extensively. It's the Seahawks versus Arizona. Obviously, we're going to be here in Arizona for that one. Um, I honestly am picking this game more based off what the Cardinals have to do and based on who I think is going to win. But if I broke it down analytically, honestly, I'd probably still pick the Cardinals because we know who we are week in, week out. The Seahawks could be a passing team one week and a running team the next week. We're always a running team, so I like us. We're built on running defense and the fundamentals and not making mistakes. Before last week, we're the least penalized team in the entire NFL. Give me the Cardinals. What about you, Frank?
Honestly, you bring up that stat, and that is a little surprising to me. But I mean, honestly, the discipline has very much improved under Jonathan Gannon. We saw what happened back a couple weeks ago in Seattle. Our offense was absolutely uprooted from the ground. We couldn't get anything going with the trenches. They absolutely destroyed us up front. But if we have any offensive identity, especially if we have this, the second half start that we did against the Vikings, no question, I think the Cardinals can win this 27-17.
I'm taking Cardinals. We're not getting swept by Seattle. I'll be damned if we do.
Right. I love that reasoning. That's the best reasoning right there. Fuck Seattle.
All for the
Anyways,
standings.
yeah, sir. The
Another
next
game that
one,
screams over. I feel like it's a over weekend for football, both college
I
and
think so
pro.
too. I like that. I like that. We'll consult about the betting too because it's definitely feeling like an over weekend. Um, this
Heavy
next one,
over.
another division rivalry game. Well, one of our rivals is in this game. It's the 49ers at home versus Caleb Williams and the Bears. Um, this game is, I think the 49ers are going to win. They need to win. Point blank period. Brock, a lot is on the line for Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan's identity. They're gonna miss the playoffs if they lose this game, pretty much. So yeah, I'm gonna take the 49ers to beat the Bears at their house. Uh, what about you, Frankie?
Honestly, it's going to be interesting to see how the Bears, play without Eberflus as their coach. Honestly, I think that's going to be a good thing. They're going to have, you're going to maybe see what they can do full slate because with the way this offense was built, there is no way that the Bears should be as awful as they've been all year. Not saying they're going to beat the 49ers, but they could give them a surprise. But Dirty Purdy is going to get it done, keep San Francisco in, and that's what I got.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Niners. I mean, it's
As
like,
much as
what
I
way
don't
will the
want
Bears
to.
lose this time? You know,
Yeah,
But if
I
Caleb,
good.
but I would be happy if Caleb Williams did the unthinkable and they kept San Francisco even further below us.
I forgot that Flus got fired. Now that he got fired, I kind of want to flip my pick to pick the Chicago Bears. But since the Niners are at home, I'm just going to leave that alone, and I'll stick with my original pick of the Niners. But I will not be shocked if they're just so washed that Kittle can't get the ball going, and Purdy just gets sacked a bunch by that defense, and the Chicago Bears figure out a way to win it. But let's move on to the last three games. Uh, Josh Allen, the potential MVP, is going into SoFi Stadium to play the Los Angeles Rams. Um, this is a trap game. I don't like saying that a bunch, but everybody's smelling the Bills farts. The Bills are smelling the Bills farts. Um, I'm gonna take the Rams to win this game. I know that's crazy. We got to do one crazy pick a week, right? And I feel like the only reason I'm picking this is just because the Bills are riding so high and everyone's kind of overlooking the Rams, and the Rams have got a little solid young defense, and they got weapons, and they can run and they can throw. So that's where I'll go. What about you, Dylan?
and it's getting towards crunch time with our picks to be too much shockers. I'm gonna go with Bills.
You're right. You're right, bro.
I mean, you said it 100% when you started, Dame. Josh Allen is, in my opinion, your MVP front runner. The Bills are the class of the AFC, in my opinion. Kansas City does not have shit on them. So honestly, Cook's gonna have a huge day. Allen's obviously gonna have a big day. Bills. I don't like I love LA's talent. Like I like Stafford. He's got Nakua, he's got Cup, but there's just something different about this Rams team. Even with the offensive prowess that they possess, it's just something's not right this year. And it's not about the injuries and what else has been going on. It's just they're not the same team, obviously.
For sure. No, I understand. I feel that they aren't the same. This next game is an Arrowhead. So you know that means that it's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs at home versus Jimmy Harbaugh and Justin Herbert and the Chargers. I'm gonna keep this short, sweet, and simple. The Chiefs are gonna win this game. They're at home. They've been playing like a mess. I think that they're gonna have a really nice looking game against the Chargers and tune them boys up something good. What about you, Dylan?
I like how like the pick previous I said shocker, no more shockers. It's like crunch, but Chiefs been always looking like ass. Have yet to have a dominant win. Harbaugh's defense has been not talked about enough. It's been looking really great in my opinion. Um, I'll lean Chargers on this one. No more than 3 points though.
I think I'm leaning Chargers too, just because like a couple weeks ago, if any of his receivers give him any help whatsoever, the Chargers possibly beat the Ravens. Did you know like how many drop passes they had on that last drive alone, let alone the entire game? Johnson had 4 drops on one drive.
Sheesh.
So if you give Herbert any kind of opportunity, if McConkey gets open, like they need to catch the ball because that's the only thing that held them back a couple weeks ago in beating Baltimore. I think they get over the hump this week. Kansas City is not as good as their record. We've known that the entire year. Loud McConkey and Herbert have a big day, and Gus Edwards on the ground.
Okay, that was unexpected. All right, this last game is the Monday night game, and this game is in Jerry World in Dallas when the Cowboys take on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Um, I'm gonna roll with the Bengals. You know, the Bengals. The Cowboys had their little win with Cooper Rush. They're gonna come back to
Yeah.
reality, get spanked up real good. What do you think, Dylan?
Bengals. Like nobody in the Cowboys but McCarthy trying to defend for his job. They don't give a fuck anymore. Give me the Bengals.
I'll tell you what, like Jerry World is spinning out of control. Cooper Rush has had a nice little run. By the way, cool little tidbit. Cooper Rush went to CMU. I do live in the town where CMU is at. And my boss actually went to school with Cooper Rush. So if we're not, if it wasn't the Cowboys, I'd probably root for him a little more. Not going to have a good day this week. Cooper Bowl is over. Dallas is going down.
All right, sweet. I like that. I think that was a smart pick by all of us. Never trust the Cowboys, especially not at home this year. That was this week's pick'ems, man. We'll get the updated ones for you guys next week. The updated records, I mean. And if you like what you're listening to, what you're watching, please subscribe, like, tell a friend, and follow us on the many social medias we'll have in the description below.
We are everywhere.
Yes, sir.
And we
Hopefully
try to
we
have
come back
fun.
next week as champions. Let's go Devils.
And
Yes, let's
also,
go.
to the, oh shoot, I might even say this for them too, but for my birthday, shout out to the Cardinals, the Suns, the U of A. Please win on my birthday. It's been a rough year for sports, so that'd be a great, great gift. And as much as it pains to say this, fork 'em.
That's the first step to a better life right there, man.
All
Uh,
right, later, y'all.
Deuces. See you for 18.